everybody. So, today we are here for episode 1. Welcome to my podcast. I've definitely done podcasts in the past, but sometimes I get bored with it. It's hard for me to stick to things sometimes because then I just be on to the next thing. So, I'm happy we're here. Rejoice. It's a reunion. I just got off of work not too long ago. Had a Sunday shift. For those of you who know me, you know I bartend. Been bartending since I was about 18, 19 years old. I'm 27. So, yeah, it's pretty much a walk in the park for me. I do love bartending. Sometimes I hate it depending on my job. Right now, I hate it because I hate where I work. But I did just get another job and I go for training on Wednesday. So I'm very excited. I'll be working in Astoria. Actually, a lot of you will be asking me about bartending and like how I got into it. I worked in restaurants since I was about 16 years old. I was serving. Yeah, I was serving. And then one day they had asked me to just cover the bar. So like the bartender like taught me first because I think he had to like call out one day, and then it was history from there. I just started bartending and constantly working behind the bar when people would call out, and then that's how I got my next job because of a customer or client that I would meet at the current job, and then they would bring me to the next job, and then I would go to the next job with another client, next job, next job, next job. So yes, I do not have my license, but I do have a lot of experience. I feel like sometimes you don't really need that much. I mean, sometimes you don't really need your license if your skills and your customer service shows for it. So, yes, if you would like to get into bartending, I recommend working in restaurants, whether it's serving, bussing, hosting, all that jazz. It's actually really cool. I make a lot of money, especially during like the holidays and like definitely the summer. I feel like I make the most money in the winter, but the summer is definitely cool. I think people are more prone to spend money in the winter because it's cold and they really can't just go to like a store and chill outside and kiki with their friends that much. They have to go inside to do something. So with that being said, yes, I've also done bottle serving. I've also bartended in clubs and stuff like that. Probably my favorite place to bartend was when I worked in a gentleman's club. That was very interesting. It was never a dull moment. And yeah, definitely recommend bartending if you especially live in New York. We make a lot more money than people that work 9 to 5s just based off of like tips and stuff. So if I have actually I'll insert a little photo of like um my tips for like a week or whatever. If you're just moving to New York or if you want to move to New York, I definitely recommend getting a job, especially during these times before you come out here, because one, it is very expensive. Two, it is hard to obtain an apartment unless you secretly know somebody that will give it to you without looking at pay stubs and whatever. You have to make like 2 or 3 times the rent, or you have to have a guarantor that makes that. So, yes, have your shit together before you do things, or else you will become very overwhelmed and useless to not only yourself but the people around you. With that being said, let us move on. It is the holidays. It is cold outside. I hope everybody has a jacket. I do not have a jacket. I have I have like a few like outer wears, but a jacket no. But I do drive, so I don't really need a jacket. But if you do not drive, I do recommend a jacket because it's fucking cold outside. It's also been very windy. Today it really wasn't too bad, but I don't know, I'm just not a cold person. I would rather be in the hot, sweltering sun. I'd rather be hot than be cold. There's a lot of people that rather be cold than hot, but no. I'd rather be hot because I could cool myself down. Being cold, it hurts. It hurts to be cold. So yeah, I don't like really doing that too much. My favorite months of the year are probably May because it's just starting to like get cold and hot. But in New York, like the weather's been changing a lot. So it's like it'll get hotter. You think it gets hotter faster now or like yeah, like you think it gets hotter earlier in the year or it's later in the year and then it gets colder later in the year. That's kind of like when it should kind of get hot though. I feel like it doesn't get like super super hot until like June. June is like, well, I mean, obviously June is like considered the summer months, but yeah, I'm definitely a summer person. Summer, I like the vibe of going outside. I can get a little drinky drink from the corner store. I can drink it outside my crib. A lot of people don't have the luxury of doing that though, which I didn't really realize until I've been to other places that was in New York, and I'd be like, "So where's everybody at? Like, what we doing?" And nobody would be outside. They would either be in the crib or they know somebody or be at a bar or like something like that. In New York, you don't have to do that. You could literally be outside, and outside is the function. Like, yes. But I'm excited for these winter months. Hopefully, Thanksgiving is going to be a good holiday. Hopefully, I don't fight my whole family and start arguing. But I feel like even though I don't be on bad terms with my family, I feel like Thanksgiving and Christmas and like just the winter holidays are such a like tension filled tension filled holidays, even though they're supposed to be about love and receiving and giving and just being in that vibe, you know? Things just get frustrating sometimes, especially since I think we're in a recession right now or whatever the fuck is going on. Um, yeah, it's a lot of pressure to be positive and put your family up in that mood and just be that type of fucking person when really I don't give a fuck to be that type of person sometimes. I'm fucking tired, you know? And I'm fucking broke sometimes. Because I'm busy trying to fucking fund my own life and have a good time. Some people don't get that though. Like, damn bitch, it's my world. You just live in it, you know? Other than that, my birthday is coming up. It comes up in February. Shout out to all my Aquariuses. February 5th is my day. I'm excited. I'm either deciding on if I want to do Tokyo, if I want to do a cruise, or if I want to go to Mexico. I've personally never been to Mexico. I know a lot of people have been. I've just been scared to go to Mexico. I don't know. Every time somebody brings up Mexico or somebody about getting kidnapped, the cartel, somebody getting shot, or just something bad is happening. But I've also heard very good stories about Mexico. The food, the drinks, the resorts, all that stuff. So I think I do want to do it all inclusive for my birthday because I don't think I've ever been to an all inclusive besides this on a cruise. But I do love doing a cruise thing, but I would rather be somewhere like stationary for a little bit so I can enjoy like the island and like whatever else it has to give. The cruise sometimes it feels a little bit like too claustrophobic because you got to sit on the island, I mean sit on the boat, and then when it's almost time to get off the island, you got to fucking rush or you got to wake up at 8 a.m. to get there and do all this other shit. So I'm really deciding. Tokyo, I do want to go to. I've never been to Tokyo, and it would be probably my farthest international travel. But it is going to be my 28th birthday. So, yeah, I just want to do something big, you know? I think next year is going to be a really good year. But I say that every fucking year, and sometimes it's really shitty. So, it's me trying to be positive again, but hey, who gives a shit, right? Because it's gonna happen if we're all alive next year. Because you already know Trump might blow us all the fuck up or fucking kill us. Meanwhile, on that topic, do y'all think that we're getting the $2,000 stimulus check that everybody's been talking about? I actually do hope we get that. That's probably the only good thing that he could possibly do for us at this point. I'm really not into politics, and I don't really give a fuck who you support. But I just do not support him because he's a fucking idiot and an asshole and a rapist and a felon. But hey, he's our president, right? Isn't that crazy that you could be a multiple have multiple felonies and still run for president and be the president? That's America for you. Also, on that, I'm realizing, well, not I'm realizing now, but Americans, we call all these other countries like third world countries and like people that aren't on our level and shit like that. But Americans probably have to be the most dumbest and most unresourceful human beings on the planet compared to everywhere else. Everywhere else I've been, like I go to DR a lot, and people are so smart there. The children are so smart, and super super young, 3 years old. They already, I mean, fuck three, like 1 years old out the womb. They're already speaking a bunch of whatever, a bunch of good things, good words, big words. They know how to cook, fucking clean, pick up after themselves, do everything. And DR is so resourceful. I'm sure they. I've just that's like the only third world country that I've been to. Is it? Yeah, I really want to go to Jamaica. Shout out to Jamaica. I know a lot of people have been affected by the, I don't know if it was a hurricane or a fucking tsunami or a storm or whatever the fuck it was. People are without food and they have no animals, no crops, no fucking clothing, no houses, no. It's a terrible situation. And of course, America's probably not going to help because we're just that fucking stupid. I should actually see if I could attach some GoFundMe's over for Jamaica too. So I'll do that too over here or something. Yeah, natural disasters suck. I wish like the world could be more, have more humanity for each other and understand that regardless of what we have or what we're worth or anything that we think that we are, we're still human beings at the end of the day and everybody needs help, you know? Shout out to Billie Eilish too for checking all the billionaires in the room that day or wherever the fuck she was at about not donating and helping the world, because there's a lot of filthy, disgusting rich people that have just money sitting that they could, that they won't even be able to use in their lifetime or their kids' lifetime or their kids' lifetime. But it just sits there and grows and grows. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Grows and grows and grows. And they don't do nothing with it. There's so many people you could help. I mean, shit. Why the fuck I gotta live check to check and motherfucking donate some goddamn bread? Bitch, I can barely live myself. Y'all niggas do whatever the fuck you want. Ain't that some shit? Like, all right. So let's talk about where I would like to go with this podcast. Um, Firstly, I don't really have a reason or a direction for this podcast. I just feel like I like to talk and I like to be relatable to y'all and I like to just be more personable than my Instagram account and posting pictures and whatnot. I feel like sometimes it's hard to relate to some of these people that we put on a pedestal, but we do it anyways just because of their platform or like how other people view them. And I would rather you guys view me in a different, more personal way. So yeah, and I just like to talk about things sometimes, you know. I always talk with my friends and like other people about different things, and I was like, we should do a podcast, or we should have a podcast. And I'm like, shit, I did have a podcast, but I don't know, just keeping up with this. I also do have to get a camera because doing this on my iPhone and all that storage is just a lot, and I do have to clean out my laptop too. So yes, I would love to have special guests on it on my podcast and talk about things like people that you probably put on a pedestal that probably after the podcast you won't put on a pedestal after, or you'll even put them higher. I guess that's the joy of hearing people talk, and that's why a lot of people don't talk. So it's all a learning process, you know. There's definitely people that I looked up to that I've met, and then I'd be like, why the fuck would I ever think that this person was somebody that was cool or like somebody that I would want to follow in my steps or follow in their steps, you know? Yeah, it's always an eye opener, but it's also fun when you realize who like people really are, if they're good or they're bad or whatever the fuck. But yeah, definitely special guests. I want to do some trivia. I would love to do like cooking segments and whatnot. Someone I really do admire with how they do their YouTube channel is Quinn Blackwell. I hope I'm saying it right. Quinn. Yeah, she does a really good job. I love how she like promotes and markets herself, and I love her like YouTube is always interesting, her editing and stuff. Eventually I'll get a like an editor or whatever. But honestly, I enjoy doing a lot of stuff by myself because it's a learning process for me and it opens up a lot of gates for like stuff that I could do in the future. So, yeah, everything is step by step. I'm a one man show. But I'm not complaining because when you do it yourself, it comes out how you want it to sometimes. But if it doesn't come out how you want it to, you can only blame yourself. So, I'd rather blame myself than blame somebody else, you know? Less stress. I do want to tap back into vlogging. I just, like I said, I need a camera because doing this plus the vlogs plus 20 other things with photos and all types of shit is going to be hard with the space that I have on my phone. Because I don't know what it is. Every time I fucking buy some type of iCloud storage, it still isn't good enough. Or there's a difference between your iCloud storage, which I realized, and the storage that you're able to have on your phone. So, yeah. I'm definitely going to invest in that. Um, I'm also want to start streaming. I'm going to buy myself a Nintendo Switch, just because I don't really play all them other like bullshit games. So not they bullshit, but like either that or a PC. But a PC is too many fucking parts, and I don't have room for a PC in my New York apartment. So not that I don't have room, it's just a lot of shit going on. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the Nintendo Switch. I just gotta buy like the thingy to connect the camera and whatever. I'll stream it from my little laptop or whatever the fuck I go on. But yeah, I want to do that. I like video games. I used to play video games a lot when I was younger, so I think it'll just be fun. And it's the winter, so I'd rather be in the house and doing something that I enjoy than being outside and trying to be somebody that I'm not. Not that I don't like going outside, but I guess you could say a lot of the places that I go, you wouldn't find a lot of these other people. So it's more of like a personal outside going experience than a shareable experience, if that makes sense. Could do some like thrifting vlogs, some like food review blogs, some traveling vlogs. I definitely have a few travel vlogs on my YouTube already, so go and check those out if you haven't. And yeah, that's basically my spiel for episode 1. Thank you guys for having your patience with me and supporting me always. I love you. And I guess I will see you on episode 2, which will be more organized and we can actually talk about topics. Also, if you have any topics that you'd like to touch on, please let me know. Any topic at all. I'm not shy. And yeah, love you guys.